But yeah, let's go ahead officially get going. And again, these updates that I was talking about, they'll automatically just update your side of things. If anything, you just may need to restart your trading view. Because you guys follow me and have access to this indicator. I think once the update is complete, or once I send the update through, you should get an email or something. I think that's how it works. Because I know there's some people that I follow through trading view, and when they update their indicators, um, I get emails, right? I get emails. But yeah, let's get started, guys. Welcome in here to the our inner circle classes here for the small private group. I do appreciate the support that you had from the beginning. Right now we're part of Yes Academy at COC Life, and they're right as always, right? We are not. These calls are for educational purposes only regarding trading. Any trade idea suggestion. It is not. It is no financial advice. So if you are trading live, please trade responsibly. Please know how to manage your account. But most importantly, right, do not trade any money you cannot afford to lose. All right, yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. We don't think we got anybody else in. Let me see. Nemaya, what's good? Nemaya came in there right before we get started. Welcome in, my friend. Let me go ahead and the unmute button is available. If you guys want to chime in, ask questions, you can. No problem there. I will shut down the video just for the recording so the things won't come on the right-hand side. But other than that, we should be good to go. One second. Let's see. Camera just to make it easier. Disable videos for now. And hide video. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and then get our dessert in first, and let you know that there's a few updates that are coming in with the two indicators that I provide, the ETM candles and the S&T box system. Both got an update. Both are 2.0 updates. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. If you do not have the ETM candles, the new one, that one is the link. Everybody should have the SMT Ichimoku box system because that's an invite only. So I think everybody here should have that one. But if you don't have the candlesticks, those are invite only. And let me make sure you guys have that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah. ETM candles. Yeah, there it is. So there it is. Let me share this. All right, there it is. This indicator right here is open to the public. So anybody that would benefit from it, it can be shared. So no problem there. All right, everybody ready to get going to see what updates we have? You guys don't have the updates just yet. You will get them hopefully here in a few hours after this class is going. But who is ready for these updates? Let me know so we can. Hey, Dr. Latrice, CCC or back to our old saying right there. All right. So pretty simple, right? We'll start here with the ETM candles. We have the lot size calculator. On the left-hand side, that has not changed. The Oracle, that hasn't changed. The Oracle Reloaded, these has nothing changed. The only thing that really changed was the ETM candles. Okay, now we have the ability to show or hide the text labels. You see how it has drop, base, draw, B, C, and all that good stuff? When we turn it off, the labels do go off. Okay, I personally use them without the labels simply because when you have the labels on and you kind of zoom out, right? Just to me, this is very distracting. But again, for a new individual that kind of wants to know how the pattern looks, they need those names there, right? But again, so now once you get familiar with them, you simply just turn them off and they're gone. The labels are gone, but the little triangle or the signal remains there. Okay. There is a little kind of like on the style, right? There's just the way the color works. So whenever you have it off, right? This is the colors that apply with it. So you can come back and change the colors, to kind of what I had in the past. So all supply BCs, I usually have them red. Um, and then all demand ETM candles, excuse me, I usually have them green or blue, just whatever color I feel like sporting out more is present, and there it is. Okay, so there it is. So that's one of the updates. All right, nothing too fancy, but again, that's a little cosmetic thing that can help people. All righty. Second update to this, and is also dealing with the ETM candlesticks, is that it actually it allows you to create an automatic zone there. All right, so if I turn all this on, there it is. Look at that, guys. An automatic zone for us to uh, have it handy. So that's, to me, is pretty neat. Kind of it gives a better visual, right? In my opinion, of how I mark things up. Everything's marked up at the bodies, and then just the way the coding is just not that the wick is not important, but there it goes. Okay, but what's interesting, right, is that yeah, I've been finding a lot of interesting stuff, right? Again, though, I guess I'm the way I see the charts, it's like pattern recognition type of thing. And it's just very interesting how price can flow. Let me see if I can find a good example here. As I was looking at this update that I had, and what's the example? All of them should give me an example there. This is a good example right here, guys. Okay. So purposely, this bar, right, or this zone is purposely 17 candles. Okay. We've been playing around with this number for a while now. And so from the signal to the right hand side, I believe it should be 17 candles. Yes, right there. You guys are following along? So check this out. And this is just something that I'm just with pattern recognition that I have. So what price is supposed to do, obviously it's supposed to come back. What price is supposed to do is come back to this, right? And then come down, right? That's what price is supposed to do. It's supposed to go to this zone and then sell. That's what we always wait for, right? That's what we always wait for. But sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it sells off, right? And what happened here? Can you guys describe what happened here? Like, what is if anything is coming to mind about this zone? Obviously, this zone does not stretch out like we normally would, right? But look at when the cell starts to max out and pauses almost at the 17th candlestick. You guys see that? Now, this is not fully back tested, but there goes the edge of the. So let's do this. Still available to catch the sell down, I would say that. But also, let me see. Okay, there goes the candle just formed. And there it is, activated, right? We're waiting for that to happen. But all right, price never came to it. We're going to just go ahead and sell. Boom, boom, boom. Sell, sell, sell. And now that it has reached 17 candlesticks, that's a good area to take profit. And the next, good thing we did, because look what happened next. Y'all see that? So that may be something that we can use in the future. Look at this bullish candlestick right here, guys. You see that? Huge bullish candlestick. The zone gets activated. We get a pullback right there. Obviously, we didn't come all the way down here, right? Maybe if I fib this, yeah, look, a 38% touch. And that's the time limit, I guess you could say, that it had that candlestick has power to buy. And there it is. All right. So we bought from 38%. Maybe we take profit there because the zone is done. And then good thing we took profit because price just consolidated afterwards. And then it went all the way back down. So that could be something that can help in both directions. All right. So I really am liking this. Again though, I didn't realize this until this is on, but it's working pretty good. All right, so those are the updates there for the ETM candles 2.0. As I mentioned, once this class is over, I'll take a little break and then kind of update it to you guys. You should have access to that. Welcome in, Ms. Letitia. And there we are. All right. So the major update that we did have was for the box system as well. Okay, the box system got a major update, which I really am really happy with, and yeah, I would like to share with you guys now. Let me see if I can go to the default version of it. All right, I need to work on it. Yeah, there's some updates here that see my input styles. I don't have the boxes in there, which may be fine. How can I hide this box? All right. Well, for starters, I added this. Some of these settings are the coding is there, but the settings are not there. For starters, I added that pip counter that that I've been wanting to add. Oh, that I already had added in there a while back. Okay. So what does this do? This box right here is 204 candlesticks. It's basically it's set to the 5-minute chart. Okay, and it displays the range of pips inside of the last 204 candlesticks or the last 17 hours, right? Let's go to gold, for example. And, I didn't realize this again until, there was, I believe, a trade that we did on a Thursday that pulled back on us a lot more than we wanted to. I believe it was this one right here. Yeah, right here. I remember it vividly. Okay. So this right here is on the 15-minute is the 5-minute box. Okay. So if I take the entire box here and look back, see, it's reading 17 hours. Why is it reading? Yeah, there's a little setting there that needs to be fixed. But we can see it better on the 5-minute, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So see, that blue box that I just drew, right, is the 15-minute, is the 5-minute 204 box. Okay. And it's keeping the range in pips here. You know how we do the sessions? We count, how many pips price moves in a session, how many pips, it moved during New York. Well, here we're keeping track of how many pips price has moved in the last 17 hours. And this little pip counter is giving us that. So 338 stays locked in all time frames. There it is, 338. 338. So it's always keeping track of the last 17 hours. That's simple as that. Okay. So gold, I think during New York time, it maxes out around 400 pips, 500 for the day. So the moment kind of I remember we got this still here, and we were looking for price to continue down somewhere around here. We got an entry right here. It was a 2-minute drop base drop. Yep, right here. We got the sell there, and we were hoping price did this, right? But again, though, it wasn't ready simply because it's in the last 17 hours, it also had traveled its pips, and it gave us a deeper pullback than we wanted to, simply because, the last, 17 hours were also exhausted, right? So it kind of needed to come back and balance out half of it. And then once it balanced out half of it, give or take, I think about at 61%. Then it sold off, but it sold off the next day in the new session. But again, though, it just kind of puts the brakes on things, right? It kind of puts the brakes on things there, and that's one of the updates that we have. So really, really neat. All right, you can turn this off or on. You can also increase the box, but the box right is always 204 candles. Right, you can kind of make this transparent. And then the label, you can make it bigger or smaller from there. All right, good. All right, perfect. So now here goes the major update on this, on these on this ETM system. All right, perfect. This is how it closed last week. Not last week, excuse me, but the week prior when we did a technical analysis day and so forth. We were here, okay? We were right here, like this. This was Friday, and then yeah, this was last Sunday's class, and this confirms how intraday momentum is really powerful, and we cannot rely on looking left. Remember, I created this system so we can keep ourselves in frame, correct? I created this system so we can keep ourselves in frame and also read intraday momentum. Everybody got that? Those are the two main reasons why this indicator was created. And I'll type it in right here. One, keep us in frame and not look left too much. Okay. And two, be able to read intraday momentum. Okay. To let us know if the sell or the buy is ready. Okay. So if we mark up this 1 hour chart, I mean the structure is beautifully down, right? Beautiful structure to the downside. We can start it from up here, from this high. Ideally, right? Ideally, I'm only getting this right here, but we'll start it from here in this scenario. We got the high. It swung down low. It did a pullback, right? Impulse correction, then lower low, and then did a pullback, and then did a lower low, correct? So I'm only going to take the last 4 points, and I'm going to fib those last 4 points from high to low. Impulse retraced about 50% and sold to the extensions. Perfect lower low complete. We move the fib from this high to this low. We're right there. All right, so this was our markup from last week. Moving to so this is the selling zone. We're right there. and we're gonna wait for a pullback to go lower. Okay, does everybody agree with that markup right there? It's a very good markup, right? Very good markup to continue to sell. If you would agree, type in yes. Technically, it is. Okay. And we can find more confirmation, right? We go to the 2 hour chart. Oh, look at this. Drop base drop. Beautiful. We had it in mind as well. Right in between that 50 and 38%. So we have a 2 hour drop base drop. We're going to make a lot of money. 4 hour chart. Okay, we got some nice candlesticks there. 8 hour chart. That's how it looks. 12 hour, little imbalance right there. Daily candle. Let's see. Nothing too much there from the daily candle. But like you said, right, we found a good zone, a 2 hour zone right there. All right. Looks very good. Like that's what you just mentioned. All right. That does look very good. Very, very good. So we got our sell marked up. All right. So again, though, here's where momentum comes into play. Let's go back down to the 5 minute chart. Okay. And there goes the same zones that we had marked up from the higher time frame. And boom. Okay. Here goes the box system. This is Friday's close. We're gonna wait for price here to get on Sunday. Oh yeah, and actually, price did drop first on Sunday morning. It dropped first, but again, though, it didn't come to the extensions. So this is we can leave the fib as is. Okay. All righty. So we made it to the zone, right? And here we're looking left. Looking left to sell because of everything that is there, correct? But what is the box system telling us? What is the 5 minute momentum telling us? What direction is it in? What direction to get in? The 5 minute box still bullish. Yeah, see, the 5 minute box is still bullish in the bearish zone here in the 2 hour. Yeah, because if we take the lowest point from the here. Oh yeah, sorry, no, Dan. On the 1 hour for sure is bearish. On the 1 hour is bearish. This is the one. This is the 5 minute one. All good, man. So here goes the impulse, right? It's bullish. It's in a bullish direction. So it's not ready to sell. All right. And look, yes, it did get a little sell here, but ultimately what took over were the buys. And there they go. All right. Everybody following along? I'm going to remove this fib right quick. I'm going to rewind back a little bit. And I want to see if you guys notice anything. I want to see if you guys notice the update that I made. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, to be fair, I'll draw the fib because I got myself confused without the fib being there. There it is. But I'll draw it to the right-hand side. Okay. Oh, the pip count. Yeah, that was the update that we already had mentioned, Daniela. But there's another update that I have not been mentioning, and I want to see if you all can spot it. All right, there goes our selling zone right there. Keep an eye on the boxes. It just happened. One more time, one more time. Who saw that? Who saw that? Anybody sees it? Anybody sees the updates? There it is, Danimal. The color changed on the 204 line. Okay. So again, the green line is the 17. The blue line is the 52. The red line is the 204. You got that? So this is a bearish SMT 5-minute box, correct? So now, at some point, right there, it turned blue. Why did it turn blue? Because the 52 line got above the 204 line. Simple code. That's one way to say it. Dr. G said, now looking for buys. Most importantly, this zone right here, when price gets there, it is not 100% ready until this box shifts the color again. So again, look, we go there, price gets into our selling zone, but the midpoint line is still blue. So that is telling me that intraday, if price does drop back down, it's only a pullback. And we can go higher. But if we don't have this box system and we look at structure and just keep looking left, as I mentioned, right? What is a box system for? To keep us in frame and not look left too much. Number two, be able to read intraday momentum. Price gets to that zone, technically everything is ready to sell, right? Based on that zone. And if you keep looking left, well, you'll get a little sell, but ultimately it was a buy. And as I always tell you guys, I always want to be in the correct direction of momentum. And look at that, there it is. Formed an M at the 236. I'll forward here in a little bit, Dr. Chase. Everybody saw that? Very nice update, in my opinion. Look at that. We could have bought from 50% very near the midpoint line because it was blue and take it to the top side. And it just keeps pumping up. And boom, we reached 61%. Should we sell? Should we sell here? Well, the box is saying no. The box is saying bullish, correct? All right, let's see what we do at the institutional level. We're there. Institutional level. Let's sell, right? What does the box say? Nope. Still blue. Focus on the buys, and there it is. Is that pretty cool or what, guys? Just a visual representation to not get ahead of ourselves, to stop looking left too much, and respect the momentum until it's ready. Okay. Datable. Slick as butt. What's going on, Rack? There it is. Look at that, guys. So see, we focused on buys. We focused on buys and what the intraday momentum is telling us. It continues pumping up. See a little bit there. It wanted to be a little bit red. Like, okay, maybe there the sellers are stepping in. Okay, but then here, right, we go back to the rule that we have. Now we need a full box shift as well, right? The impulse here is still bullish. So now we need the next confirmation for things to go the other direction. And we never make a lower low. Actually, we did get the shift there. Okay, we did get a nice shift there. And this also protects us as well from um, cutting our losses, right? Let's say we do sell from here and we enter at the 50%, like right there. And price does not want to drop. Well, it does drop a little bit. It does make a low. We should have took profit right here. But then look, the midpoint line is getting squished in. All right, we're back blue there. See, we're back blue right there. Came back, touched the 50%, and up it went. And up it went right there. All right. So that to us will give us another layer of confirmation to which we focus on buys or sells. All right, with momentum, with momentum. So check this out here, guys. This I remember this here on Wednesday's class, live trading. Okay. Live trading, we were still bullish. I sometimes do rely too much on the 17 candlesticks and its momentum. But again, though, that's why live trading is important because it allows you to kind of go back and back test and say, okay, what happened? What did I do wrong, or what did I didn't see in the past, right? Before this code was created. Okay, I thought that once price made this push down like this, okay, that we had enough volume in the front to take us back down. Correct? I remember this is that's why I gave up on the buy, simply because we had a big strong push down. But this box system, right, represents an averages of equilibrium based on the 17 candles, based on the 52 candlesticks, and based on the 204 candlesticks. So the average of the 52, it's the line of it, it's still above that. So if we apply the 1, 2, 3 strategy, or just how we normally do the New York markup, right? You fib because it's bullish. You fib low to high. You stay bullish on it because this is blue. You simply enter at 50%, or you can enter lower, or you can find some ETM candles. And I believe there was this 45-minute rally-based rally right here that was staring us in the face. But now we have a little more confirmation that we should stay bullish. Okay. And then we can take it to the extensions. Price turned around. And there it went. Let's see, demand break structure candle on this time frame, Dr. Latrice. I don't see it if I missed it. Maybe it was in the 20-minute chart or above the 45. Let's see. All right, so how does this, we'll go back to Dr. Latrice. How does this behave during the NFP scenario? All right, so that was Wednesday. We had the NFP on Thursday this week, right? Because of 4th of July holiday. Right there. That is NFP Thursday. Okay, there it is. So that was the New York session. Let's continue to hit play. Price was still in a bullish scenario here, right? Because we're still bullish when we got there, and it pumped up. There it is. We're bearish, right? We're bearish on this during NFP. A few more candlesticks. We drop one more time. We're right there. And we're bearish, right? Price pulled up. You see this candlestick right here? What is it telling us? Like, oh man, this thing is ready to buy, right? But what does the intraday momentum tell us? What does the intraday momentum tell us? Red line on the 204, it still sells. Touch the midpoint of the 52 box. And down it went. Boom. Beautiful play. And again, though, here's where thank you, Joe. Here's what the pip counter also kicks in on the last 17 hours. Ready? We have it's overextended as well. Remember, the daily range is about 500. The excuse me, the daily range is about 500. The New York is about 350, sometimes 4. And the last 17 hours has exceeded that. Definitely overstretched. It was a pullback though, right there. Still bearish though. Touched the 50% almost to the T. And that would have been the better entry to take profit down here. But to know that ahead of time is just, you just never know. And then the market just kind of simply died down on Thursday. It opened up a little bit on Friday and then closed early. But that's what it provided. That's what it provided right there. So right now, price is trying to make a decision of what it really wants to do. And then from here, we'll speculate ahead on what we see. All right, yeah. Well, those are the two updates that we have. I think this line this will at least help us read momentum better, right? Read momentum better. And if we're trying to buy and this line is still red, we're maybe too early, right? Things like that. Those are little things that we can communicate to ourselves. All right, guys, well, perfect. And then, yeah, once this update's complete, I'll probably complete it about a couple of hours after our morning session is over. You should get it. I'll let you guys know in the group, and then also, um, you should probably get an email by TradingView that I made an update. Or by that I mean, if you can see Dr. Trees, that is possible. That is possible. Um, but be careful because the momentum is more bearish. But yeah, man, that is possible depending on what you see. Now again, right? Everybody's perspective is valued because we all slightly see the market a little bit different, right? We all slightly see the market different. And my shoes, right? Because when I'm teaching and educating, you sometimes can kind of like waver one direction, and next thing you know, you change it. But this right here it allows me to keep my bias until momentum really just shifts. Okay, really just shift. All right, yeah. So let's do a quick top-down analysis on gold. See where it Oh yeah, there you go. I like that. If one was already in the buy, correct. Yeah, if somebody bought for whatever reason, and things shift, that's a good area to take profit. That is good balance there. All right, guys. So here is the top-down analysis for today. We will be reviewing the weekly candlesticks and then the 1 hour structure on the box to see how the frame is. And then from there, we will decide if we're bullish or bearish. So for starters, right, the previous weekly candle closed bullish, but technically, right, it did not make a higher high. It did make a low. It did make a low first. So in my opinion, I think we're still this candlestick's still in control, even though this one can take us to the top side. Okay. So what I'm gonna do first is I'll be ignoring this candle, and I'll still use this one to the left. That's the previous weekly high, and then the previous weekly low right here. And this is important to me, the open, okay, of how the week started. Okay. And also the open of the previous week will also be a factor for me. Okay. So right now I'm just kind of creating a range for myself for the next intraday moves next week. All right, this one we will color it um, white. I just color it green. That was the previous that one. Okay. All right, from here, let me go to the 1 hour chart. That's how we look. I am gonna fib from high to low of the previous weekly scenario. There it is. Okay, so we're at that 61%, 78% zone. We analyzed everything on the 5 minute chart earlier, right? But the remember the box system is still locked in to where it's only visible on the 1 hour and the 5 minute chart. Okay. Keeps everybody locked in, keeps our all of us at the same bias, right? We don't need all the time frames. The 1 hour and the 5 minute, I think, is just that sweet spot of information that we need to stay all locked in together. Okay. So for as of right now, those are the two time frames that the box will come in. And what color is the line on the 1 hour time frame? It's blue. Okay, when the week started, right? Right here, we were red. At some point throughout last week, when the midpoint line went above, now it's blue. So we do have the structure on the left-hand side like this. High, low, lower high, lower low. But you see how this got out of the box? So this structure is expired. And this is no longer a lower low because there's no high to take it. So that's expiring. You see, guys, why I'm telling you guys sometimes looking left too much can affect what's happening now. So now we technically have this shift here. And when we get another candlestick, actually, no, it's already bullish because we got rid of its highs. Previous weekly open. Nice. Yeah, they're very so. Yeah, the like the WM patterns, those are all like just like N waves, right? Those are going to be definitely be all over the place, and it's a good pattern to it's a good pattern recognition because um it allows us to kind of read the market there. Okay, so right now this is the push up. Oh, I saw oh, this one right here. Gotcha, down the trees. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Um, so now on the 1 hour time frame, it looks like we're more bullish. It looks like we're more bullish. So all we need to wait for on the 5 minute chart is what? This to turn bullish, right? The moment on the 5 minute it turns bullish, it gives us confirmation to buy. So that's no longer a structure point. This is the bearish fib here. But because this box is bullish, I may want to take the previous weekly candlestick a lot more serious. Okay, a lot more serious. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And now I will focus on the previous weekly candle because of the 1 hour time frame being blue. Okay, being blue. Perfect. So this could be our target up here. The 23% is right there. We can get a little bit more pullback down, maybe kind of form a double bottom over here, right? I think we left to where I personally wanted buys from this little rally-based rally on the 30-minute chart. Right there. That is where I wanted my buys from for Goldilocks. Let me just fit this entire candle like that. Just so we can get a better visual. And it's just in between the 50 and the 61% of the previous week. And that's what I wanted. Something like this to then go up. How many pips is that between now and then? So that's a 400 pip move. That's not bad at all. Let's go back to the hour time frame. As long as, and there goes your W, Dr. Latrice. Okay. As long as the midpoint line, or as long as this line is blue, Now you know, right? Now you know why this will be blue. Is the 52 line being above. This is still a great area for us to buy. Okay. Great area for us to buy. Right there. All right. And that's what I'm looking for. Right there. All right. Not a bad setup, right? Technically is there. Momentum is in our favor. Any sales is the pullback on the higher time frame. All last week, any buys was a pullback, right? Uh, all last week's price action because the 1 hour box was bearish. All the buys were technically a pullback. But this week, all the sells are a pullback on the intraday. All right, so let's go ahead and then just do some top-down analysis on the rest of the pairs. As simple as possible, guys. And I'm only going to use the 1 hour chart to avoid any confusion and go from there. So Euro USD on the 1 hour time frame, bullish or bearish? Bullish, right? It's bullish. We got the impulse up. So we'll measure with the fib from right to left. I mean, yeah, boom, boom, like this. Perfect. So it's looking for buys on this pair. That's why the fib is blue. Okay. So any sells or pullbacks for now. And let's see if we can find some ETM candles anywhere on higher time frame. Let's start with the daily. Nothing there. 12 hour, 8 hour. Okay, we do have some ETM candlesticks down here. This is the 4 hour one. Let's go to 8. I see that's 8 hours, excuse me. This little rally base rally here is kind of getting in the way of things. Oh, excuse me. I did forget to check the weekly candle. I'll check here in a second. I'll trace. I would like here it is. See, is a very interesting price pattern right here. We do have this rally based rally on the weekly. Last week, we actually made a high, but we didn't come to that 23% zone. But we did go to the extension of negative 18. Let's double check that. Boom, boom. And yeah, it touched a extension. So I personally would like, so I see that this is the control candle. That's the previous weekly high. That's the previous weekly low. All right. Let's go to the daily there. Daily. Oh, up here. It could be forming like $1 trees, but again, it's just only for a pullback as of right now. Okay. It's only for a pullback, in my opinion. And there is the previous weekly candlestick right here. Wait a second. There it is. Perfectly fine. So if I fib, so I'm fib to kind of create my framework. I'm fibbing the previous weekly candle and then that 1 hour structure. Okay. That 1 hour box structure. That's kind of how I'm kind of creating a my frame, my top down analysis frame. Previous weekly candle and the 1 hour structure. So here it is, guys. Okay. Maybe we come back to test that 23% on the Euro USD. Let's see if we see anything else. There goes the structure. The midpoint line of the box system is just above the 23%. So I do like that. So yeah, I am long on Euro USD. If I want to be really picky, I'm liking this rally-based rally right here that's connected to this 8 hour zone. Yeah, so just to make it an easiest market but possible, I personally would like to see Euro USD do something like that. Let's check on GU. Let's check on the weekly candle. Oh, this is good. See, this is what I want right here. This is good. Your GBP USD already gave us the pullback last week. This is not a control candlestick right here. This is a control candlestick. And that's a BEC right there. There it is. Look at that, guys. The update on the new ETM candles right there. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, I like that a lot. Let's go ahead and mark up the previous weekly high. Let's mark up the previous weekly low. Very nice. Let's go to the 4 hour chart so I can draw the fib. I like drawing the fib on the 4 hour chart. A low to high right there. Second. Thanks, Keston. Yeah, we're wrapping up here in 9 minutes. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'll send a message on the chat once I push through the update. Perfect. This is the bullish scenario on GBP USD. Now let's check the box system. Okay, the box system is not ready yet. It's more bearish. More bearish for now. So all we have to do is kind of wait on the 1 hour time frame to get back above to confirm better on the 1 hour. But let's see how it looks on the 5 minute chart. Same thing. So I'm looking for buys on GBP USD, but the 1 hour told me wait a little bit more. Okay. And the 5 minute also told me wait. Okay. So again, though, if we have a system that puts the brakes on for it, that is a powerful system, in my opinion. See, we're not always looking for that system that tells us to push the button. We have a system that tells us to be patient and wait based on the analysis that we marked up. So this tells me that there is some momentum down, right? That all we have to do maybe is maybe complete a lower low, right? So if the box system on the 1 hour time frame is bearish, we measure from high to low like that. Okay, like that. This is more bearish than bullish. Yes, Ron. These Sunday ones have been updated pretty quickly. If you're following the YouTube, you should get the alert. I was not able to. I still can't find the other recording that you requested. but this Sunday ones will they get updated almost right away. So within 30 minutes, within an hour after we're done, it should be up. Okay. So if price wants to do a lower low based on this, it'll probably land at the extension, correct? Which is 61% of the entire move. Dan says it could be a lower low or an Elliott wave, no problem. I do agree with that. But I got one of your favorite patterns here, better Dan, for you. Look at this. And look at this. There it is. So that could be, guys, a very good play. Right there. A nice harmonic bullish pattern. That's right. I think it's a Gartley. But they all look the same, man. That would be a nice move, guys, technically. That would be a very nice move. Take advantage of the little short-term movement that the momentum gives us. Right? Let price come back here. So little pop quiz here. When we do get down here, most likely on the 1 hour time frame, the box system will be red. What do we need to wait for in this area for us to look for a buy on the smaller time frame? We just need the box system on the smaller time frame, right? To be blue. There it is, Dr. Latrice. So we can let price accumulate, right? We can let price accumulate for buys. That's what we're waiting for. So I'll put a note right here for us to consider. That's what I would say. All righty. Notice how we know we're doing more pairs today and not just gold. It's because like the box system just makes it easy for me to just kind of like speculate, not overthink it too much. GJ's price action has been funny though. I'll tell you that. Yeah, this could potentially go up. All right. This is these two candlesticks for now to me are the control candlesticks together. So I will mark these up here. Just I'm gonna treat them as one candle. Okay, like that. Go back down to the 4 hour chart and mark this up. Low to high because there's a bullish scenario. Boom. Perfect. let's go now to the 1 hour chart. See what this is telling us. Okay, box system is still red. However, though, right, this is where we kind of can study if the future of the midpoint line, when would it be above? So it is wanting to go up. You see, it is wanting to go up because as long these lows they start expiring, the average is pushed back up. You guys see that? And when we get to these candlesticks right here, let's see, let's just say price stays the way it is. See, the midpoint will be above. So we have to wait for price to get to these wicks right here, and that's going to take approximately 15 hours. Everybody ever understood that right there? Of what that meant? That in 15 hours, we will eliminate all these 15 bars, and the new low of the 52 box will be here. Therefore, pushing up the midpoint here. Did I say that correctly? Marcus, where you at?
Yeah, that's right.
Appreciate you, Dad. And the future of GPUSD is bullish. You got that? Okay, perfect. Miss Letitia, she got it. So the future of GBP JPY is bullish pretty soon. She got to wait 15 hours. For me, I think if we can get back above this 23%, there's our confirmation to look for the buy to the buy. I'm going to do UJ and we will wrap it up right there. See what UJ has for us. Weekly. Yeah, this thing has just been dancing way too much, but it's fine. Try to go over here, maybe. Previous. All right, just do that for now. All right, yeah, these candlesticks are not the best. There really isn't a control candlestick at all here. It has been ranging. If I go to the monthly, maybe the only thing I can say about the monthly is that we're above the 23%. All right, so in this scenario, I had to change it up just a little bit, simply because this thing won't budge. Let's see. We're going to call that the previous monthly high and the previous monthly low. All right. We'll go down to the weekly scenario, and that's the range that we're in. We do have a rally-based rally here, so that could mean something. Daily. Okay, we did close pretty strong in the daily, so that's not bad. I'm with Fibbage in the 4 hour here in a minute. There it is. Okay, there's the 4 hour chart. That's where I'll use the fib. And it was a bearish week. Excuse me, bearish month. All right, there it is. And we're above the 23%. So if this was the entire month, yeah, this is the control month right here, guys. And basically the last 3 months, the month of the current month, July, June, and May, right? Let me fib here. Look at that. That 23% is holding its ground. In May, we already went back to 78%. Sellers did push it back down, but the 23% kept it bullish. I think we're going to go to the high. just based on that knowledge right there. Okay. I think we're going to go back to 78% because we've been there before. All righty. So that to me is a great target for us to consider. Back to the 78%. Let's see how the 1 hour system is telling us. All right, we are more bullish. Very nice. Okay, very nice. Because this is bullish, we'll measure this box. It's technically not ready either because see, this is bearish right now. It's starting to be bullish, but this is still bearish. So I would like for this, I would like for us to get right here. Okay. I would like for all of these candlesticks on the left-hand side to be gone and get to that level. It will be approximately when we get here. So let's see how many hours is that. 1 day. So UJ, in my opinion, we attack it Monday night. 1 day of waiting. I don't mind that. Let the price accumulate, right? And it is forming a nice little Elliott wave. Let's see. From the bottom. Impulse, correction, impulse, correction. Boom. Nice Elliott wave complete. What happens when we have an Elliott wave completed? Okay, we get the correction phase. This one kind of broke the rule, right? Because 4 touched 1, but it was very close. Very close. Very close. Look at that, guys. Very close. But I think we'll take it, right? So what happens after an Elliott wave? You get your correction pattern. Boom, boom, boom. And then I think once we have all that, it gives us more confirmation that things will be bullish. And then we can potentially now fib it to the top side. All righty. So I'll go ahead and remove this fib. I think we have to wait for something like this to really kind of see it. But I would like us to get to that 78% on UJ. And my projection for this one is this. Yeah, just like that. Perfect, guys. Well, we finished almost right on time. I appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, as far as the platform, I know we're struggling a little bit with the yeah, guys, no study group for Dan this afternoon. He's out of town. Yeah, I know we're struggling a little bit with the Vimeo stuff. I'm gonna try something out on Tuesday where maybe I have the Vimeo playing, but then I also start a Zoom on the back end, and then our inner circle can join through the Zoom, right? Instead of the Vimeo. I'm gonna see how that works. I've been researching to see if that's an option, and based on what the information that I'm getting, that is an option. But we'll see. We'll see, right? Because I know we struggle a little bit with the Vimeo. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I appreciate everybody being here. We will Sunday mile. We'll go back to this. We'll see you guys each other. Monday's kind of my day off. Remember, I do have that 8 o'clock call in the morning, and then from there I kind of just chill. But we'll come back strong on Tuesday, and then from there we will see what this week provides. Everybody have a great Sunday. And if you guys watch soccer or football, we have a Mexico versus the USA play tonight, so that's what I'll be watching. Everybody have a great one. Thank you.